Hello students, today we are talking about articulation of consonant sounds. Before entering into this video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. In English language, the sounds are produced by the air passage from the lungs. When the vocal cords are in the mouth are separated, we get voiceless sounds. Through the help of vocal cords only we are getting sound, and when these two vocal cords are separated we get voiceless sounds, and when these vocal cords are close together they vibrate and we get voiced consonant sounds. So an important part of this articulation or making of consonant sounds is played by soft palate or velum. The roof of the mouth is called palate. It has three parts: soft palate, hard palate and teeth ridge. Starting of the mouth is called teeth ridge, and middle of this mouth is called hard palate, and ending part of this mouth is called velum. So when the mouth starts we can see the teeth ridge in which all the tooths are located, and the back and the next part of this mouth is, that is the central part of our mouth is called hard palate, and the last part of the mouth is called soft palate, and these vocal cords are next to this soft palate, and when these vocal cords are vibrate we get voiced sounds. When velum or this soft palate is raised we get oral sounds, and when this velum or soft palate is lowered we get nasal sounds. Nasal sounds means the sounds which we get through our nose. So another important part of this sound making is called articulator or articulation. Articulators are the organs of speech which restrict the air passage at various places and thus produces different consonant sounds. The air comes from our lungs through the windpipe, and it enters in the mouth, and it is blocked at various places, and then it is released through the help of some other organs. Through such a process we get the sound. So the articulators are called the organs of speech which restrict this air passage at various places, and through this we get and thus produces, or through this way we get different consonant sounds. Sounds are based on this place and manner of articulation. For example, if the air from lungs comes through both the lips, it's a bilabial sound. If the sound comes with the help of both of our lips, it is called a bilabial sound. If the sound comes through tooth ridge, it's an alveolar sound. If this sound comes with the help of teeth ridge, it is called alveolar sound. And if the sound comes through the soft palate, it is called a palato plosive or palato affricates. So this manner of articulation refers to the position of articulators and the nature of obstruction in the air passage. So we can see that articulators are an important factors in the making of sound. According to the manner of articulation, the English consonants are classified as plosives, affricates, fricatives and nasal sounds. Plosive sounds. When the air from the lungs release with an explosion, we get plosives. Here the articulators move together to form the air passage, and in the release, air comes out with an explosive sound. This simply means that when the air from the lungs comes through our mouth and it comes out with an explosion, this is called plosive sounds. Here the articulators or the makers of sound move together to form the air passage, and the release, air comes out with an explosive sound. The examples of plosive sounds are P, B, T, D, K, G. All these alphabets are there. When we pronounce or say the alphabet P, we see that the vocal cords are not vibrating. So we can say that P is a voiceless sound because there is no vibration of the vocal cords, but it is a bilabial plosive. That means P, when we say the word sounds P, both the lips are used, and the air comes out with an explosion. So it is called bilabial plosive. Plosive means explosion. Bilabial means both lips are used. So this is an example. This is a perfect example for plosive sounds. B is another sound. Here B, when we say B, the vocal cords are vibrating, so it is voiced. Then again, it's a bilabial plosive because both the lips are used. Next example is T. T is voiceless because there is no vibration of the vocal cords, and it's an alveolar plosive. Plosive means air comes out from the mouth with an explosion. That's why it is called plosive. It's an alveolar explosive because our tongue touches the starting of teeth ridge. In this pronunciation of T, our tongue touches the starting of the teeth ridge. So it is called alveolar, means teeth ridge related to teeth. So it is called alveolar plosive voiceless sound. Next example is D. D, when we say D, our vocal cords are vibrating. So it's voiced. Alveolar plosive, again it's alveolar plosive because D, in D we touch the tongue, it touches the starting of the teeth ridge. So it's an alveolar plosive. Next example is K. K, in K there is no vibration of the vocal cords, but here the air comes from the soft palate. So it is velar plosive. Air comes from soft palate. So there is no using of teeth ridge and tongue. So it is voiceless velar plosive. Next example is G. When we say G, our vocal cords are vibrating. It's held together and it's vibrating. So it is voiced. Again, G also is a velar plosive because air comes from soft palate and it comes out through the mouth. Next one is fricatives. When both the articulators are very close to each other and air comes out through a narrow passage with audible friction, we get fricative consonants. This means when we say the word F. F is a perfect example for fricative. When we say the sound F, we feel that the teeth, the lower part of the teeth is touching the upper lips. So it is, so both the articulators are coming very close together, and air from this air comes out through a very narrow passage. F. When we say F, air comes through a narrow passage. So such kind of consonant sounds are called fricatives. So in for F, it's voiceless because no vibration of vocal cords, but it's labio-dental fricative because the teeth, lower part of the teeth touches the upper lip. So there are involvement of both lip and teeth. So it's voiceless labio-dental fricative. Next is V. Here when we say V, vocal cords are vibrating, so it's voiced. It's labio-dental fricative because the tooth touches the lower lip. The upper teeth is touching the lower lip, so it is called voiced labio-dental fricative. Next is F. S. S is voiceless, but it's alveolar fricative because tooth touches the upper lip. The teeth touching the upper lip, so it is called voiceless alveolar fricative. Then is Z. So Z is a voiced sound because this vocal cord is vibrating. Then it's an alveolar fricative because this here also tooth touches the upper lip, so it's voiced alveolar fricative. Next one is she. Sha, it's not sha, but it's she. She is voiceless palato alveolar fricative. That means air, there is no vibration of vocal cords, but the air comes from soft palate, and there is the involvement of tooth ridge, so it is called palato alveolar fricative. Next is sha. Sha sound. Here sha is voiced and it's palato alveolar fricative because air comes from the soft palate, comes through and there is a narrow passage in below this teeth ridge, so it's alveolar palato fricative. The sha's sound is used in the words like explosion, usual, etc. Next important fricative is T. This sound is called T. This is a voiceless dental fricative because in T the tongue is touching the teeth, not the teeth ridge, but the front tooth or front teeth. So it is called voiceless dental fricatives. Next is the. The words for this are these, that. This is a voiced sound, and again here the tongue is touching the upper teeth, not teeth ridge but teeth, so it's voiced dental fricative. Next one is affricates. In affricates, there is a complete closure of air passage and then a slow release causing friction. So in this affricate sounds, completely the mouth or the air passage is completely closed, and there is a slow release of this air with a friction. The teeth ridge and the hard palate are articulators. So for all the affricates, the teeth ridge and the middle part of our mouth are responsible. So affricates are palato alveolar consonants because both teeth ridge and hard palate are involved in the making of this affricate sounds. So it is called a palato alveolar consonants. Air passage is completely closed when the tongue coming into contact with the tooth ridge. The air passage is completely closed and then releases slowly with a friction. Only two affricates are there in English. They are cha and ja. In this sign denotes to chi. The words cha, the words like cheese and catch are used for this sound. This is voiceless because no vibration of vocal cords, but it's voiceless palato alveolar affricates because tongue, the air comes from the hard palate and the tongue touches both hard palate and tooth ridge. So it's called palato alveolar affricates. Next is ja. Words for jam and judge are used for this. It's a ja. When we pronounce jam, we feel that the vocal cords are vibrating. So it's a voiced sound. It's palato alveolar because the tongue touches both the hard palate and tooth ridge. So it is palato alveolar affricates. Next important consonant sound is nasal sounds. These nasal sounds are produced by a complete closure of mouth and the lowering of velum or soft palate. Air comes through the nose. So in nasal sounds, the sound is made through this nose only. Air comes through the nose and there is a complete closure of mouth. And the soft palate is also lowered in the making of this or the creation of this nasal sounds. For example, M. When we say M, both our lips are closed and air comes out through the nose. M is voiced because these vocal cords are vibrating and both our lips are closed. So there is using of lips and nose. So this is a voiced bilabial nasal sound. And N, in the case of N, it's also a voiced sound, and also when we say N, our tongue is touching the teeth ridge and our mouth is completely closed and the air comes through nose. So here tooth ridge and nose are used. So it's an alveolar nasal sound. Thank you.